I'll skip the example in the interest of time. STEM semantics, performance, yada, yada. Performance, if you run the whole program under STEM, it's very, very slow. But if you run just a little bit of it, you may not even notice it, depending on what part of the code you're wrapping. For I/O-heavy programs, you could, in fact, run the whole program like SCP in the emulator, and you wouldn't see any performance degradation. But that's for a specific case of programs. And so the idea, I'll very quickly say, of application communities is rather than have a separate copy of the application that is instrumented and used as an analysis engine for those failures, since we're all running the same piece of software across 100,000 or 100 million different desktops, if some subset, large subset of us is willing to collaborate, why can we not each take a little bit of the task of monitoring for failures in different parts of the code of the same program that we're all running, Word, and then when any one of us notices a failure, we just tell everybody, hey, here are the conditions that led to a fault, and now you can go ahead and create your own fixes potentially. So this is the notion of an application community, and in fact, you can think of it as load balancing the task of monitoring for failures using real applications rather than a honeypot or doing instrumentation around the application. Yada, yada. So there are all sorts of interesting questions in terms of what's the overhead of having an application community versus the speed of detection of a fault versus accuracy, who you trust, what types of fixes can be generated, so on and so forth. It's all very interesting, and if you want to hear about them, there are a bunch of papers. I'm going to send the URL that are appearing or are going to appear or have appeared that you can read, and you can feel free to send me email. And the top URL points to the project webpage. So that's all. Thank you.
Do we have time for questions? All right, so let's thank our speaker.
Thank you.